Hey everybody out there, my name is Dragnix, and this is Ookibloks. $7.99 comes out on the Steam store today, but before I begin, this key was obtained for the developer for the purposes of looking at this game critically. That won't affect my opinion, but you know, you guys should know. You guys should know that because, again, disclosure, kind of important. Now, Ookibloks is about a monkey who basically throws himself into blocks in order to get bananas, because we all know the best way to get bananas is to run full steam into a wall. Yeah, not the brightest of monkeys to say, but, you know, you gotta get those bananas somehow. Now, I'm gonna play a little bit of the story mode here and show you exactly what the game has to offer. I'm gonna go back to the haunted forest of Mayo, a spooky forest of ghostly kitties, in order to show you exactly what's going on here. So, start up a mission here, and we will begin very shortly. There we go. So, the idea here is that you move your monkey friend along to hit the blocks in a horizontal-like manner. You can hit all four cardinal directions, as well as, well, that's pretty much it. That's all you can do. All four cardinal directions. Now, simple puzzle game in that retrospect. The fact is that all I need to do is repeatedly do this until every block is gotten at this point. Simple enough. Now, of course, that's the simplicity of the game, but there is some complication regarding the combo system. As you see the best combo system there, the idea here is that if I do it in a fast enough manner, I can combo the bananas in question. So, yeah, I'm not doing very well, am I? And I got hit by the ghost cat. Of course, there is a hazard or two that you'll have to deal with, but, you know, if you keep on things, you'll probably be okay in terms of like, okay, wait a minute, hold on a second. Obviously, this isn't working. Let me see what I can do. I actually hit one of the ghosts. Well, I hit one of the ghosts with one of the oranges, and once you do that, you're able to knock them out of the screen in question, but, you know, that you have to make sure that you don't run into anything else. I mean, minor details. Now, from a puzzle game aspect, this does work in some areas. The fact is that I got to be very careful about where I move to and when I can move. Now, I will say that the game has a little bit of a weird element to it. That was stupid of me. What I mean by that is that sometimes it's unclear when you can move. What do I mean by that? Well, you'll notice that it's in a grid-like format in terms of, okay, each of those squares are going to be a place that I can move to. But sometimes you end up going into a square and ended up actually hitting an enemy that isn't actually in that square. One of the weird things about this game is the fact that sometimes the hit detection, and I mean hit detection in terms of the square detection, is just a tiny bit off. It looks like you're able to move into something, but in fact you're not able to. And that does cause a bit of a problem at times. Like there. He was moving into the other square. He was barely in the other square at that point, but I was able to get hit by it. Now, that was actually a bad example of this case, mostly because of the fact that in most cases, when that happens when you have like a bigger enemy that takes up multiple squares, and it seems like he's out of it, but in fact, he's not. And it's like his ear is barely touching one of the other elements, and thus, you can't use him. It's unfortunately a problem for the game that it never overcomes, in my opinion, and it just becomes a little bit annoying after a while. Alright, there we go. All the bananas done. Now, I alluded to the fact that this game has its origins somewhere else. You'll notice a live system. Now, I'm going to do something here. I'm just going to kill myself repeatedly. There's a purpose for that. I've already shown you early on what happens, but just for the sake of the argument here, I'm going to kill myself repeatedly. Alright. Rather simple. I mean, gotten good at it. 0 lives left. Okay. You're probably wondering, this is a puzzle game. Why is there a live system? Do you have to do a level over? Yeah, the level you're on. But you'll notice that I continue and I start at the same level. Yeah. You see, the thing is that this game is actually on iOS. You're like, oh, okay, well, iOS games, another iOS port. Okay, you've bashed things like that over and over again because of its bad, programming or anything like that. What's the difference in this one? Well, this is a free-to-play iOS game. Okay, that's still not a problem, right? Well, the problem is that it holds over the live system with it. What do I mean by that? Well, here's the thing. The live system in the game acts as sort of the timer in this case for the iOS game. And they brought it over here where it has absolutely no reason for it. The fact is that I don't start at a start of a set of levels. I don't need a live system because, again, it's all based on the fact that, okay, I'm playing the game for $7.99 now. It would be a little bit strange if you added a free-to-play elements into it. In fact, it's a holdover. There's absolutely no reason for it, and it actually ends up doing damage to the game. Now, there are power-ups in the game, like this Angel Kitty. So it will tell me how I can move. Doesn't take into account enemies, but it will tell me how to get to the bananas next. This would be a power-up in one of the iOS modes where it's like, okay, it's a buyable. In this case, you get them for free or through daily events, but it's a nice little feature in order to, especially with a puzzle game or puzzle that you're really having trouble with. But again, it shows its iOS origins. Now, oh God, you see, again, getting hit there, I just feel like it's just like, okay, I wasn't actually in the space, but okay, whatever. Now, from a puzzle game standpoint, it does all right. The problem is that the complication of the puzzles isn't that hard. Again, it's relying a lot on its main mechanic of moving left, straight, up, and right, but left, up, straight, and right. I think I forgot down in that one, Sean, but that's all right. But it shows its sort of hand early and doesn't really introduce a lot of mechanics that really change things up rather quickly. Sure, we can go to another set of levels here. Let's go out here and let's go to the lava levels here. And it introduces things like, okay, you can throw yourself off the map, or you have these spike blocks, but it feels like it doesn't really actually change a lot in terms of the gameplay, at least in my opinion. To be honest with you, it's quite boring, and unfortunately, it's something that I don't know how to describe it. It's competent in what it does, don't get me wrong. But it's just one of those situations where it just it doesn't have a lot to show. And especially for $8 and coming to Steam, I feel like there are a lot of puzzle games that do it a lot better, like Trap Them, where it actually sort of takes the concept that it's going for and really challenges the player in order to really, bring it to the next level. But instead, here, it's rather basic, and most of the time, it's just me being impatient that really screws things up, and not anything else along that line. Now, I do like mechanics like this, where you throw the orange onto the spikes, and then it drops via gravity. That's nice, or being able to move via the block there that's moving. But then you get situations like this where, okay, I can't move right now. All right, I can move. Not really. In fact, I'm sort of stuck right here, in case you can't tell. I can't actually move anywhere, because now I'm going to move left and right and knock myself over there. Okay, I like that. I like the fact that there are punishable elements to it, but it's just rather plain. And again, for a simple game like this, I feel like iOS is sort of its right area in terms of it's quick to pick up, it's quick to play, but it's not necessarily overly complicated. But while I want to play a game on Steam, it's just one of those situations where it's like, I'd rather play something else with a little bit more girth to it. And here, I think that it just does not do the job in terms of providing an experience that will last at this point. I got bored within about, I want to say about 30 minutes of playing the game, and that's not good. That's not good at all. Again, you're really wanting short sessions, and the game, while it has its strengths, just doesn't keep up in terms of me really wanting to play it over and over again. I'm sorry, it just doesn't. I also don't like the little things that really sort of bother me about this game. As you saw there, when I finished the level, it doesn't necessarily finish the level right away. It actually takes some time in order for it to like collect the bananas for your combo meter to go out, and then all of a sudden you're okay at that point. It's little things like that where it's like optimization-wise, that made absolutely no sense. Like, okay, I got all the bananas in question. I can't do anything else. You kill all the enemies at that point, so you know that the level's over. Why do I have to do this again? I mean, it's that kind of thing where it's just like, I don't want to say it's lazy programming. It's just not really thinking about the situation in question. Like, wait a minute, I can't really do anything here. Why are you making me do something here? So if you haven't told already that I'm not going to recommend this game. I just think that there's not a lot to it to really justify a purchase. I mean, especially for $7.99, I feel like that cost there is a little bit too expensive for my tastes. And in particular, I'm basing that off the itch.io page because I don't know the Steam price. If it's cheaper, okay, fine. But in the end, Ookibloks, while a simple concept, doesn't really belong here in terms of the gameplay in question. Now, if the gameplay looks alright to you, I will say that, hey, guess what? It does do the job in terms of what you've seen on screen. It's very basic. It's simple, but it can have moments where you're like, okay, I want to optimize the path in which I get those combos from. When you're optimizing the path and having to keep up with things, yeah, that's pretty cool. I mean, it can work pretty well in that case. Ugh. Or like stages like this. I like the stage of the fact that there's several hazards here, and I got to really think about where I'm moving. Not only that, but I can actually fly off screen if I'm not careful. Or I got to have really close timing, because right now I'm pretty much screwed. Yep, pretty much screwed. Alright, I know I gave a basic description of the gameplay and everything. A little bit of the graphics-wise, I mean, it's alright. It does support, like, 1080p, which is, again, nice, especially for an iOS port. I like the fact that I can use a controller on it. That's nice. I almost didn't expect to, but it is good to see that they did put some effort into the port in terms of being able to support a controller. On the iOS version, which I did try for the sake of the review, you do it by swiping on the screen, which I can see how that would work, and I feel like it actually works better than the controller, only because it just naturally throws itself to that at that point. Okay. There we go. 1, 2, 1. How do I get to these other ones? I'm actually going to take a little bit of time because there is a time element to this where if you don't necessarily do things in a very fast manner, you will have the devil cat come after you, which does add a little bit of a interesting mechanic to it. All right. Oh, I can't. Can I not get over there now? Yeah, I can. So I'm just gonna wait here. Just gonna chill. Ready to hit that block, but, you know, we're just gonna wait for the Devil Cat to show up. Now, I did run into some bugs early on. In particular, with one of the first builds, I actually had to restart my entire progress because it kept on crashing on me. Okay, hurry up, hurry. Uh-oh, the Devil Cat is coming. So now the Devil Cat will basically run at me. Oh, of course you're right in my way. So now I gotta find a way to get over there without letting the Devil Cat touch me. But we're good. Again, I found some bugs early on. They seem to be fixed, but again, be careful at this point in terms of playing. I did lose my progress. Unfortunately, I have to hold that against the game in question only because, well, it happened. But ever since the latest patch, everything seems to be fine. But in the end, Ookibloks is all right. I mean, it's not something I can recommend in terms of a purchase. If you do want to play the game, it is on iOS and it is a free-to-play game. It has free-to-play mechanics. Don't buy anything, obviously. But in the end, it just doesn't do enough, especially when compared to games like Trap Them or other puzzle games of the genre. Alright, this is Dragnix signing out. I hope you got an idea of what Ookibloks has to offer. Again, I'll leave the Steam review below. Any comments, any information you want to share, or any questions for me, leave in the comments section below. Like, comment, subscribe, and all that jazz, and I will see you later. Hey everybody, thanks for watching. If you like this content and want to see more of it, you may want to hit that subscribe button on the left-hand side. If you like this video and want to see more of this content, take a look at this video on the left-hand side as well. And if you missed my last video, take a look at the right-hand side. Once again, thanks for watching, and keep on gaming.